After spending the day with two different Nissan GTRs, here are some of the things we hate about it.
First off, wind noise, tire noise, road noise, all sorts of noise. These are not quiet, refined vehicles. You go over bumps, rough roads, it's really loud and it's clunky, and you get a lot of wind noise at freeway speeds, at 40 miles an hour, normal road speeds. It's not as refined and isolated as some cars in this price range. Speaking of issues at high speeds, a lot of people have reported that at speeds of well over 100 miles an hour, something like 150. Now this is something that most people hopefully are doing on a closed course, but of course it happens not on closed courses. Their freaking hoods fly off the car. There's so much crosswind, so much wind that the actual hood rips off the car. You should go look on Google Images right after watching this. There's a bunch of hilarious photos, but two people I know with Nissan GTRs have had this happen to them personally. So it's a common issue, kind of a ridiculous issue, to be honest, for a car that should be able to go quickly without having the hood rip off. So this dual clutch transmission is great when you're on a track, whatever, shifting, when you're accelerating. It's very, very fast, but it can be very, very clunky at low speeds. It's not particularly smooth when you're just going around a parking lot or something, and that's a downside that many people have noted with this transmission in either generation of these cars. The noise of the transmission is also another thing. It makes such a strange rattle at lower speeds and lower RPMs that there's a note about it in the GTR owner's manual that says, don't worry, it's gonna make weird noises. It's our dual clutch system. Don't bring it in. It's not broken. That's just the way it is. And a lot of people have been a little bit disappointed, I guess, with their cars. You buy a brand new 2015 GTR and it's making noises like it's broken, and they have to have a asterisk. Nope, it's not broken. Don't come to us, it's just the way it is. We often talk about rear legroom being abysmal in two-door sports cars, but the GTR might take the cake for some of the worst rear legroom I have ever seen. I sit very close to the steering wheel, and I'm hard-pressed to fit just my fist in between the rear of this seat and the seat back there. So if your legs are as small as a fist, then I guess you can fit back there. Eddie, who's larger than me, there's no space. Zero space between his seat and the seat behind. So headroom is also abysmal. If you've got no legs, then you're good. A lot of GTR owners who really, really soup them up put roll cages in the back, strip the seats out. But there's almost no point. I guess you have a little bit of extra storage. They're fancy grocery parcel holders, that's what they are, Part of the practicality of a car you want to use on a daily basis is space, all right? So there's a trunk in the back, but you can't really get stuff into it. The trunk itself is actually very, very spacious, but the opening, the way the boot lid is designed, the opening is very small. So while you can put a lot of small things in there, you can't put like a big thing in there. It just doesn't fit in, and it just seems an oversight. You make the trunk huge, but you can't put anything of significant proportions into it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm thinking larger suitcases. That'd be difficult. Sure, they would fit once it's already inside, but if you can't get it through the opening, there's no point. Fitting golf bags in there would be difficult. I guess stylistically, it was ideal to make the opening small. But it's annoying. It's annoying. The first few times you open the doors on a Nissan GTR, it's actually very cool. There's this little lever handle thing, you push it on one side, it pops out, and you open the door. After a few times, it gets incredibly annoying. If you have stuff in one hand, and try to open it with your right hand, you gotta get an awkward angle to try to press it in and then open it up. It's really, really frustrating. They designed it probably to be unique and different, but in practicality, using it on a daily basis, it would get really, really tiring. And it opens the wrong direction. Yeah, like typically it would open outwards, but it opens backwards. It's weird. And it's not like the Jag F-Type where when you approach it, they pop out for you and then you can open it like that. This one you have to actually push in with one finger and then pull the whole lever out, and it's needlessly complex. I will say it's a little less flimsy than I was expecting. Seeing it in pictures, so that was nice. And the last thing is the fanboys. Now, it's a plus and a minus. Obviously, the car, in a way, warrants all the fanboys because it's brilliant. It destroys supercars that are much more money. It sets lap records. It's an incredible performing machine, and we talked about that a bunch in the review. But
there's so much written about it on the internet, so many lies and so much hype, that it's a bit annoying. It's like, you can't win either way. There's some fanboys who are like, it's the best car in the world,
yes,
blah, blah, blah. And then there's another like community of GTR haters who say it's soulless,
yep,
and it's too mechanical,
yep,
so it's not fun. I feel like it's one of the most, if not the most talked about cars on the internet.
Yeah, and it's very, very polarizing.
Definitely. There's the haters, there's the lovers. You just have to not care.
Yeah.
This car is brilliant, but definitely a downside. With all the people who've probably never driven GTRs or driven cars at all. They're probably 14-year-olds who are just reading the specs. That to them, 2.5 seconds versus 2.6 seconds to 60 is the reason you would buy one car over another. Like someone commented recently, why would you buy a Veyron when the 0 to 60 time of a Porsche Turbo S is the same? Because there's more to life than identical 0 to 60 times. That's the answer to that question. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse our channel and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on our new Twitter, vehicle_virgins. Look forward to seeing you next video.